Have you ever felt something invisible approaching? As if a silent force always there is now beginning to reveal itself little by little. It's not just imagination, nor coincidence. There's a vibration in the air, a subtle change that permeates dreams, thoughts, and even people's behavior. Time seems to run strangely, emotions intensify, and many feel that something within themselves is being tested, as if the universe itself has decided to place each soul before the mirror of truth. By the end of 2025, nothing will remain hidden. Everyone will be called to see themselves in their entirety. But what is this verification that so many speak of in silence? It is not a judgment, nor a punishment, but a revelation, an inevitable process that separates what is true from what is merely appearance. The entire planet vibrates in a field of purification, and those who are not aligned with this frequency will feel the weight of their own resistance. What lies ahead cannot be avoided, but it can be understood, and that is what we are going to talk about. If you are listening to this now, it is not by chance. Something inside you asked for answers. So take a deep breath, open your heart, because the truth is about to begin to be told. For some time now, a strange feeling has been growing in many people. They can't explain it, but they perceive that the world is different, as if a veil were slowly falling. This perception doesn't come from the eyes, but from the heart. It's a silent call, coming from a place that cannot be located in space, but which echoes in the soul with a force impossible to ignore. Have you felt it too? That sudden restlessness, the desire to change everything without understanding exactly why. It's the first sign of the great verification, the awakening of the dormant consciousness, the invitation to look inward before time itself does it for you. The calling comes in many forms, sometimes as a recurring dream, sometimes as a loss, an unexpected encounter, or even an inexplicable feeling of weariness with routine. It is subtle, almost invisible, but profoundly transformative. Many confuse it with anxiety. Others try to stifle it with distractions, but it remains there, insisting, because it is not something that comes from outside. It is the spirit itself reminding you who you truly are, asking you to awaken before the waves of change become uncontrollable. And the more you try to ignore it, the more it intensifies, because the time for choice is approaching. The curious thing is that the call doesn't come only to those who consider themselves prepared. On the contrary, it comes precisely to those who still live asleep on autopilot. The universe is compassionate. It gives chances, sends signals, repeats lessons as many times as necessary. But there is a limit. There is a point where the Earth's own energy rises, and those who don't keep up with this frequency feel the impact like an internal earthquake. It's not punishment, it's adjustment. Each soul is being aligned with its true purpose, and this requires masks to fall, illusions to crumble, and truth to be faced without fear. When you hear the call, something inside you is divided. One part wants to run, escape, distract itself. Another feels that the time has come to stop, breathe, and listen to what the silence wants to say. It's an ancient conflict between the old and the new, between what you were and what you are about to become. Most still try to resist, but the more they resist, the more life pushes. Situations repeat themselves, people drift apart, the body gets sick, time accelerates. All this is the soul saying, wake up, it's time to remember. And perhaps at this very moment, you are listening to this text because you have already heard this call somewhere in your heart. If so, know that you are not alone. Thousands of other souls are awakening at the same time in different parts of the world, feeling the same waves, the same symptoms, the same questions. It's as if a great symphony is being tuned, and each note needs to find its place. By the end of 2025, this music will play louder, and everyone without exception will be invited to listen. Perhaps you've already noticed, people seem to be reacting in completely opposite ways to the same situations. Some are becoming calmer, more serene, almost luminous, while others are immersed in irritation, fear, and confusion. It's as if reality is splitting into two worlds that still coexist, but vibrate at different frequencies. This is the separation of frequencies, the invisible process happening within each human being and around the entire planet. It's not something you see with your eyes, but you feel in your soul. And the closer we get to the end of 2025, the more intense this difference becomes. Separation is not a punishment. It's a natural consequence of internal choices. Everything you nurture, thoughts, emotions, attitudes, emits a vibration, and that vibration creates your line of reality. That's why two beings can live in the same place under the same sky, but see completely different worlds. One feels hope, the other feels despair. One sees possibilities, the other only sees ruins. What changes is not the world outside, but the field of consciousness within each one. And that's where the great test begins. Remaining at peace while everything around seems to crumble is the greatest sign that the soul is ready to cross the portal that opens before humanity. But crossing over isn't simple. Everyday situations arise to test what truly dwells within you. People you love may drift away. Truths you believed in may crumble. Everything that vibrated in falsehood will be exposed, and life will ask you to choose, to remain trapped in fear or to trust the invisible. This choice doesn't happen in words, but in vibration. When you decide to keep your heart open, even without understanding what's happening, you rise to a frequency where chaos doesn't dominate. When you close yourself off and fight against the flow, it's as if you plunge deeper into density. That's why some are feeling lighter, and others increasingly lost. The separation of frequencies is silent, but inevitable. It's like a river dividing into two branches, one flowing serenely, the other turbulent. And the curious thing is that the river doesn't choose where each drop goes. The drop itself directs itself according to its density. So it is with us. There are no judgments, only natural laws. What is light rises, what is shadow seeks purification. And in this process, everything that is hidden comes to the surface. That's why so many are facing old memories, deep pains, and crises of meaning. It's not the end, it's a new beginning. The earth is simply cleansing everything that can no longer accompany the new cycle. So, if you feel the world is strange, breathe. You're not going crazy. You're just noticing the layers that have always been there. The time of confusion is ending, and the time of choice has arrived. The question is simple. What do you want to carry with you when the new dawn arrives? Fear or confidence? The past or freedom? Because by the end of 2025, this separation will be complete, and each soul will find the mirror of itself, reflected in the frequency it chose to sustain. Before the big check happens, life begins to whisper small warnings. Nothing is abrupt. The universe, in its wisdom, offers constant signs so that no one is caught off guard. They are subtle, but powerful. Suddenly, you feel that places that once made you feel good now drain your energy. Loved ones seem to change, or perhaps it is you who are changing and no longer fit into the same rhythm. Old situations repeat themselves with new intensity, as if something were asking for a definitive solution. These are the first signs of transformation, loving reminders that something within you needs to be reborn. Many resist these signs, believing they can simply wait it out. But nothing passes without fulfilling its purpose. Discomfort comes to awaken. Conflict arises to reveal what still needs healing. Losses, however painful, are gateways to realignment. And when you understand this, suffering ceases to be a punishment and becomes a teacher. Life begins to teach you directly, almost urgently. It's as if time has accelerated because the soul can no longer postpone what it came to do. By the end of 2025, everything that is misaligned will be brought to the surface, and the sooner you embrace the process, the smoother it will become. Another clear sign is the change in the perception of time. Days that seem like weeks, weeks that fly by like seconds. This collapse of linearity is the heart expanding into a new dimension of consciousness. When a human being begins to experience time differently, it means they are ceasing to live solely in control and beginning to live in surrender. It's as if the internal clock is being replaced by the rhythm of the soul. You begin to realize that the right things happen at the right time, and that forcing the flow only causes pain. The new cycle invites absolute trust, and this is perhaps the most difficult lesson of all. Dreams also change. They become more vivid, symbolic, almost prophetic. Many report seeing lights, portals, unknown cities, or reunions with beings who seem familiar from other lives. It's not illusion. It's memory reactivating. The veil between the visible and the invisible is thinning, and those with soul eyes are already beginning to see what was previously hidden. These dreams are like spiritual rehearsals for what is to come, preparatory experiences so that awakening does not cause fear, but recognition. Everything the unconscious is trying to communicate now is urgent, because the time for preparation is running out. And perhaps the strongest sign of all is profound weariness. Not physical, but existential. It's the feeling of no longer belonging to the old world, of not finding meaning in the same pursuits. This happens because the soul is being called to another level of experience, where appearances are no longer enough. Those who feel this are on the edge of the threshold, and it is here that many give up, or finally surrender, because going through this phase is not about understanding, it's about trusting. Transformation doesn't require effort, it requires surrender, and it is this surrender that will open the doors to the new time that has already begun to silently dawn, right before our eyes. Before the world changes on the outside, it needs to change on the inside of each of us. This is the silent rule that governs all true transformation. Inner purification doesn't begin with rituals or promises, but with sincerity. When the soul decides to face its own shadows, the universe begins to act. That's why lately so much has come to the surface. Old memories, regrets, resentments that seemed forgotten. They don't return to punish you, they return to be freed. Each memory that resurfaces is a thread of energy asking for cleansing, and each tear that falls is a portal that opens to the soul's relief. Crying, silence, solitude, all these are instruments of the purification that precedes the new era. This process can be uncomfortable, and many try to escape it. They seek distractions, immerse themselves in work, social media, discussions, anything to avoid listening to their own hearts. But the call doesn't go away. It intensifies until the pain of ignoring it becomes greater than the fear of hearing it. It is at this point that true awakening happens, when a person understands that there is no way out, only in. Purification is like the fire that burns away the impurities of gold. It hurts, but it reveals the original brilliance. Everything you truly are is hidden beneath the layers of who you needed to be to survive. Now until the end of 2025, life is asking you to peel back these layers one by one, even if it feels like stripping yourself bare before the abyss. Internal purification also manifests in the body. Strange symptoms, fatigue, sleep disturbances, and even sudden sensations of heat or cold are not merely physical. They are energetic responses to the ongoing deep cleansing. The body is a mirror of the soul, and when the soul shifts frequency, the body needs to readjust. It's like updating an old system to a new program. Sometimes it crashes, sometimes it restarts. Therefore, it's important not to fight what the body feels, but to listen to it. It is translating the language of the soul, and the more you embrace this process with love, the faster the body finds balance. There is also an emotional purification, which is perhaps the most intense of all. It happens when life begins to confront you with everything that has not yet been resolved. People who return, situations that repeat themselves, pains that demand closure. It's as if destiny opens the forgotten files of the heart and says, "Now it's time to end this story." And even if this brings tears, know that it is a sign of healing. Pain is the body saying goodbye to something that has already fulfilled its purpose. And the most beautiful thing is that when the soul is cleansed, it begins to attract only that which vibrates in the same light. People change, opportunities arise, time seems to flow again, everything is renewed. So if life has shown you what hurts, be grateful. Yes, be grateful, because what is being purified now is what was preventing you from seeing your own light. The universe is not punishing you, it is preparing you. And when this cleansing is over, you will no longer be the same person. You will be lighter, more aware, and above all, more genuine. The world needs this version of you, the one that was born from fire, but now radiates light. There comes a point in the journey when the universe seems to fall completely silent. No sign, no answer, just a great void. It's the test of the heart, the moment when faith ceases to be just words and becomes experience. During this period, it's common to feel lost, to question everything, even to doubt your own path. But that's when the soul is measured, not by how much it understands, but by how much it trusts. When everything seems to collapse and yet you choose to believe, something powerful happens. A new light begins to be born within you, silent and steady like the flame of a candle in the darkness. The test of the heart doesn't come to destroy, it comes to reveal. It shows what truly sustains your faith when everything familiar disappears. It's easy to trust when the sea is calm, but it's in the storms that the essence is revealed. Life will place you before situations where nothing seems to make sense, and yet, it will ask you to keep walking. It's like walking in the dark, guided only by intuition, and the more you take a step without seeing the ground, the more the path is illuminated. It's a divine paradox. Only those who dare to trust the invisible discover the power of true vision. During this test, many connections break. People who seemed fundamental drift away, plans crumble, doors close. This doesn't mean failure, it means realignment. The heart needs to be free of attachments to be able to vibrate at the new frequency that is arriving. What doesn't resonate with your purpose cannot remain, however beautiful it may seem. Sometimes what you call loss is simply the universe giving you back your freedom. And when you understand this, the pain transforms into gratitude, because everything that leaves makes room for what is true to arrive. The test of the heart is also a test of patience. It's the art of remaining silent when everything within you wants to act. It's allowing the answers to come in their own time, not your own. And when they finally arrive, you realize that the delay was never a delay. It was preparation. Nothing happens before it needs to happen, and no soul awakens outside of its exact moment. This is the lesson of trust, and whoever understands it becomes unshakable. Because once you discover that the universe always works in your favor, even when it seems otherwise, fear loses its power over you. Ultimately, the test of the heart is the final portal before the soul's ascension. It's the point where many give up, but also where the strongest are reborn. If you are experiencing this silence, do not fear. It is a sign that something magnificent is about to be born within you. Continue. Even without understanding, continue. Because when the light shines again, you will realize that you were never alone. It was the universe itself holding your hand, waiting for the moment when your heart was ready to see. There is a moment, right after the silence, when the world seems to breathe differently. It's as if the air becomes lighter and the mind clearer. This is the beginning of the time of revelation, the period when the veil between the visible and the invisible begins to lift. Everything that was hidden both collectively and intimately comes to the surface with force. Masks fall, truths emerge, secrets are exposed, and there's no escaping it. Each person will be confronted with the exact reflection of their own choices, thoughts, and intentions. By the end of 2025, the entire planet will live in a kind of spiritual mirror, where nothing can be hidden anymore. The revelation, however, is not only about what is dark, it also brings to light what is beautiful, pure, and forgotten. There will be unexpected reunions, sudden healings, moments of profound synchronicity. It will be as if destiny begins to manifest in real time, showing that nothing was in vain. All paths, even the most painful, were leading to this point, the awakening of inner truth. And when this truth is revealed, the soul remembers who it is. Fear begins to lose its power, and the heart opens to a new understanding of life, one that no longer depends on control, but on surrender. But beware, in these times, discernment will be essential. Not everything that glitters is light, and not every shadow is an enemy. Revelation brings to light both the true and the false, and it is up to each soul to feel, not just believe. Words deceive, but energy never lies. You will know what is real by what makes your heart vibrate in peace. This is humanity's new compass, to feel the truth instead of seeking it outside. Those who learn to listen to their own hearts will navigate safely, even amidst the storm of information and illusions that try to distract their gaze. The time of revelation is also the time of conscious choices. What you do, say, or think now will resonate faster than ever before. The consequences will be almost immediate, because the Earth's energy field is more sensitive. This is not a threat. It is an opportunity. It is an invitation to create responsibly, to vibrate in love, even when everything seems to crumble. The more people choose to act consciously, the more the planet's vibration will rise. And when that critical mass is reached, a new cycle will begin, not just for some, but for everyone. And then, when the ultimate truths come to light, you will understand the reason for every silence, every loss, and every pain. Everything was preparing you for this moment, the instant when you would see with your own eyes that you were never separate from the whole. The time of revelation is not the end. It is the return to the beginning. It is remembering who we always were, before we forgot ourselves. And when that happens, the whole world will breathe a sigh of relief, because the light will have finally conquered the illusion. There's a moment in every journey when the light seems to disappear completely. It's when everything that once sustained you ceases to function, and even faith seems like a distant memory. This period is known by few, but felt by many. It's the night of the soul, a silent and painful crossing, where the spirit is stripped of all certainties to discover what is truly essential. In this darkness, time seems to stop. Prayers bring no answers. Dreams become confused, and a feeling of emptiness dominates every part of the being. But however frightening it may seem, this night is sacred. It is the womb of rebirth. During this phase, life takes away everything that isn't authentic. Friendships, jobs, loves, identities, everything built on illusions begins to crumble. It's as if the universe is saying, you can't keep pretending anymore. And no matter how much the ego fights, the dismantling is inevitable. Because only when everything falls apart do you realize what truly remains. And what remains is what is true. This is the pain of purification at its highest level. Dying without dying, losing yourself to find yourself, walking in the dark, trusting that a sunrise awaits you on the other side. The night of the soul is also the time of divine silence. No sign seems to arrive, and the heart wonders if heaven has forgotten its name. But it is in this silence that the miracle is prepared. The butterfly does not hear the cocoon breaking. It only feels the impulse to be born. So it is with the soul. Silence is not absence. It is gestation. It is the universe reorganizing everything for its new cycle. And while you believe you are standing still, a new being is being born inside, stronger, more conscious, freer. The external chaos is merely a reflection of the inner birth. At this point, many give up. They think they've lost their way, that the dream is over. But those who persevere, those who choose to keep walking even without seeing, find something that can no longer be taken away, a living faith that doesn't depend on results. It's the faith that is born from the depths of the abyss, the kind that doesn't come from books or doctrines but from direct experience with the invisible. This faith is indestructible because it was forged in darkness, and when it awakens, fear no longer has power. So, if you are going through your inner night, don't blame yourself, don't run away, just breathe. The darkness didn't come to punish you, it came to transform you. Every tear is a seed of light, every silence, a fertile field for rebirth. When dawn arrives, and it always does, you will look back and understand, it was in the darkness that you learned to see. After the night comes the dawn, and with it, the reunion, but not with the world, with yourself. The encounter with the true self is the deepest point of the spiritual journey. It is when, after losing everything, you finally find what can never be lost. It is not an external revelation, it is an internal recognition. You begin to realize that the love you sought outside always lived silently within your heart, that the strength you sought in people was always in your spirit. It is the moment when the soul remembers itself, and the weight of an entire life begins to dissolve. There are no screams, no lights, no visible miracles. There is only a peace you have never felt before. This encounter doesn't happen overnight. It's built little by little, in small renunciations, in sudden understandings, in moments of gratitude without reason. It's when you begin to perceive beauty in simple things, to value silence, to feel love, even for what previously irritated you. The ego begins to quiet down, and in its place something vaster emerges, a silent, observant presence that doesn't need to prove anything. This is the true self, the one that has always been there, patiently waiting for you to stop searching outside. It's the reunion with your divine essence. And when this self awakens, everything changes. The way you speak, the way you walk, the way you see others. Automatic reactions disappear, and in their place arises a profound compassion. You begin to see each person as a reflection of the same whole that lives within you. There is no longer us and them, only different expressions of the same consciousness. This perspective changes everything. Conflicts dissolve, forgiveness becomes natural, and love ceases to be a feeling and becomes a state. It is at this point that the soul is freed from the shackles of the past and begins to live in harmony with the present. But it's important to say, encountering your true self doesn't make you perfect, it makes you human. You still feel, you still make mistakes, you still cry, but now with awareness. The difference is that you no longer get lost in emotions. You go through them. Pain still exists, but it no longer dominates. Fear appears, but it no longer paralyzes. You begin to live life lightly, understanding that everything is part of the learning process. And this understanding is the beginning of true freedom, because those who know themselves no longer need to defend themselves from anything. The truth becomes their shield, and when the soul recognizes itself, it finally understands the purpose of the entire journey. Nothing was by chance. Every fall, every loss, every silence, everything was part of a polishing process. The diamond that you are has always been there, but it needed to be revealed. The true self is not conquered, it is remembered. And when that memory awakens, life changes color. Everything seems the same, but everything vibrates differently, because now you are whole, and the universe responds to those who are whole with miracles disguised as coincidences. When a soul awakens, it doesn't awaken alone. It begins to vibrate in such a different way that it attracts other souls in harmony. It's a reunion, that silent recognition between people who may never have met, but who look at each other and feel, I already know you. These are encounters that happen at the exact moment, guided by something beyond logic. They are alliances that cannot be explained but are felt, and it is through these reunions that the new world begins to form, one link at a time, one heart at a time. These connections don't follow human patterns. They don't depend on appearance, age, distance, or religion. They happen through vibration. When two souls resonate at the same frequency, the universe takes care of uniting them, even if it needs to move mountains. And the purpose isn't romance, nor companionship. It's awakening. Each soul that crosses your path carries a key, a memory, a lesson. Some come to heal, others to challenge, but all come to push you deeper towards your truth. And the more awakened you become, the more meaningful encounters arise because the universe responds to the vibration of your heart. The reunion of souls also brings a sense of shared mission. Suddenly, people who have never met find themselves together and feel the same impulse to create something new, to serve the collective, to spread light where there was once darkness. These groups are beginning to form silently around the world, small nuclei of consciousness, seeds of a new era. They do not seek fame or power, but resonance. And this invisible network is growing every day, weaving the energetic fabric of the new earth that is about to be born. However, not all reunions are easy. Some are intense, challenging, even painful. These are the so-called karmic alliances, reunions of souls who have something to resolve. Sometimes, love mixes with pain, attraction with repulsion, and all of this serves one purpose: liberation. These are old bonds asking for closure. When you understand this, you stop reacting and start acting consciously. Instead of running away from the pain, you transform it into learning. And so, the ties that once bound you begin to strengthen you. It is the miracle of forgiveness happening in silence. These reunions are proof that nothing in the universe is disconnected. Every person who enters and leaves your life is part of a great divine orchestra, playing the melody of evolution. And when you understand this symphony, everything makes sense. Abandonment becomes liberation, loss becomes reunion, and love ceases to be possession and becomes presence. By the end of 2025, many of these reunions will happen, not to repeat the past, but to align the future, because the new world will not be built by loners, but by souls who remembered to walk together. There comes a moment when the universe stops whispering and begins to act. It's when choices made in silence begin to manifest in the visible world. Nothing remains neutral anymore. Every thought, every word, and every decision begins to generate immediate effects, like waves spreading across a calm lake. The time of indecision is over. Now choices matter, not because the universe wants to punish, but because the Earth's vibrational field is more sensitive, faster, more conscious. What once took years to manifest now happens in days. And that is a blessing, because we can finally see clearly the creative power that has always been within us. Many still make choices driven by fear, guilt, or a need for control. But the new era no longer responds to these frequencies. Everything that is forced collapses. Everything that is true flourishes. It's simple, but profound. That's why so many plans have failed lately. It's not bad luck. It's realignment. The universe no longer supports what is not in coherence with the soul. Those who continue to insist on paths that do not resonate will feel the weight of circumstances until they understand the message. The time has come to live the truth, not the appearance. By the end of 2025, this law will become visible in all aspects of human life. The weight of choices also manifests itself in relationships. The vibration between two people reveals itself with an almost frightening speed. Where there is truth, there is expansion. Where there is falsehood, the bond breaks. This is the purification of connections. Many people will feel sudden estrangements, old friendships dissolving, couples separating without understanding why. But everything has a purpose. Souls are repositioning themselves, seeking what vibrates in harmony with the new. No one loses anything that is true. Everything that goes, goes, because it has already fulfilled its role. Everything that stays, stays, because it is love in essence. And true love is never loss. It is freedom. In this new cycle, spiritual responsibility becomes absolute. It's no longer enough to say pretty words or perform symbolic gestures. It's necessary to be consistent, to vibrate with what you say, to live what you teach. Life no longer allows masks. And this is liberating because finally we can be authentic without fear. Every choice made from the heart generates expansion. Every choice made from the ego generates contraction. The body feels, the soul warns. The right path is not the easiest, it's the one that brings peace. And if there's doubt about what to choose, just observe. What brings you closer to the light, and what distances you from it? The weight of choices is, in truth, the weight of conscience. When you understand that everything is a reflection, there are no more guilty parties, only lessons learned. What you create, you live. What you offer, returns. It's a sacred dance between cause and consequence. And the most beautiful thing is realizing that, even if you've chosen wrongly many times, there's always time to start over. The universe doesn't demand perfection, it demands presence. Each conscious decision is a step out of the old cycle and a step towards freedom. The future of humanity will be decided by the choices each soul makes now, and the moment is now. When the soul awakens, it begins to feel an irresistible calling, the desire to serve. But serving is not about sacrifice, it's about expansion. It's realizing that true joy is born when your gift touches someone else's life. Each human being carries a unique spark, a talent that the universe has placed in their hands to be shared. And when this gift is used for the benefit of all, the energy flows like a river without barriers. Service is the bridge between the individual and the collective. It is how love becomes action. The awakening of service begins simply. It can be a desire to help someone, to inspire, to heal, to create something that brings light. In the beginning, the mind tries to sabotage, saying it's insignificant, useless, that no one will notice. But the soul does not remain silent. It knows that purpose lies not in the grandeur of the action, but in the purity of intention. Every genuine gesture reverberates across the planetary field. A smile, a word of comfort, an act of forgiveness, all of this is service. The new world will not be built by grandiose leaders, but by anonymous hearts that have chosen to vibrate in love, silently. Serving isn't about saving others, it's about remembering who you are. When you help, you heal. When you offer light, it grows within you. It's an infinite cycle of exchange. And that's why so many are feeling this calling now. The planet needs hands, voices, hearts willing to act consciously. The time for only seeking is ending. The time for giving has begun. And whoever hears this calling will find meaning, abundance, and synchronicity. Because when you live for something greater than yourself, the universe conspires to make everything work out. But service also demands humility. It doesn't seek recognition or reward. It acts out of love. The true servant understands that it is not he who acts. It is life flowing through him. And this takes the weight off the effort and brings the lightness of surrender. Serving doesn't tire, it heals. It is the ego that wears itself out trying to control the results. When you let go and simply do what your heart asks, the energy is renewed. That's why some seem to have infinite strength. They don't act alone. They act in harmony with the whole. The awakening of service is the beginning of a new humanity. As more people understand that individual purpose is intertwined with the collective, a new vibration will take over the planet. Earth is calling for souls who serve life, not their own desires. And those who heed this call will realize that the more they give, the more they receive. The more they offer, the more they flourish. Because love is the only energy that multiplies when it is shared. At some point in the journey, something mysterious happens. An ancient feeling begins to awaken, like a forgotten memory of a place not found on maps. It's the memory of origin, the deepest calling a soul can feel. It's not nostalgia, it's recognition. You begin to feel that you didn't come from nothing, that there's a much greater purpose behind every birth. It's as if the heart remembers a truth the mind cannot yet explain. We all come from the same light, and that memory changes everything. This memory doesn't surface suddenly. It reveals itself in waves, sometimes in a dream, sometimes in an encounter, sometimes in a simple sunset. It's an echo from within, saying, "Remember who you are." And when this memory awakens, fear begins to lose its power. You realize that death doesn't exist, that time is just an illusion, and that love is the fabric that holds all things together. This awareness brings an indescribable peace, the feeling that, regardless of what happens, everything is all right, because everything is part of the return to the origin. But remembering your origin is also remembering your responsibility. When you recognize that you are made of the same light as the universe, you understand that everything you do affects the whole. Every thought, every emotion, every gesture creates waves in the collective field. This perception is liberating and at the same time, challenging. Because from then on, there is no longer any way to blame anyone. You realize that good and evil are merely polarities of the same dance, and that your role is to maintain the balance. True awakening is not about running away from the shadow, but integrating it, understanding that even darkness serves the light. The memory of origin also awakens dormant gifts, enhanced intuition, energetic sensitivity, lucid dreams, perception of synchronicities. It's as if new windows open within consciousness. But it's important not to get lost in these phenomena. They are signs, not destiny. The purpose is to remember that all of this is an expression of the same source. The miracle is not in the extraordinary, it's in the simple fact of existing. When you live consciously of this origin, each breath becomes a prayer, each glance becomes a blessing. And so, by remembering who you are, the world also begins to remember. Because each awakened soul becomes a beacon, and each beacon lights others. By the end of 2025, this collective remembrance will expand like a wave of light sweeping across the planet. There will be no way to contain it. And when this memory spreads, humanity will understand what it has always sought without knowing, that we are not returning home. We have always been there. What comes after awakening is not the end. It is the beginning. When humanity passes through the great test, when souls have looked inward and recognized their truth, something extraordinary will begin to happen. A new world will be born, not as a visible revolution, but as a silent, profound, inevitable transformation. It will be like the dawn after a long night. First a glimmer of light on the horizon, then warmth touching the skin, until the whole day reveals itself. The new world will not be imposed. It will be felt, and it will begin within each one who chose to remain in love, even when everything crumbled. This new era will not be built upon old systems, but upon new consciousness. There will be no more room for fear disguised as power, nor for control masked as order. Everything that does not vibrate in truth will fall of its own accord, without the need for confrontation. External structures will adjust to internal ones, and collective vibration will create new ways of living. The economy will be guided by cooperation, science by wisdom, faith by direct experience with the sacred. Humankind will finally understand that the planet is not a resource, but a living organism of which it is a part, and by caring for it, it will be caring for itself. The birth of the new world will also bring a new kind of time. The accelerated pace that dominated the human mind will begin to slow down. People will seek quality, not quantity, silence, not noise, truth, not appearance. Value will no longer be measured by status but by presence. Those who have learned to listen to their hearts will become natural guides, not leaders of power, but beacons of consciousness. Humanity will move more lightly, more consciously, more united. And even if chaos still tries to roar, the light will be brighter, because the collective heart will be awakened. But this birth will not happen without pain. All creation comes with contractions. The old world will resist until the last moment, trying to maintain control over what can no longer be controlled. There will be moments of confusion, uncertainty, and apparent regression. But remember, before being born, the child feels that it is dying. The same is true for humanity. When the discomfort intensifies, it will be a sign that new life is about to emerge, and those who maintain faith during this collective birth will witness miracles that defy all logic. The new world will not come from the sky nor from the hands of a few. It will come from within us, from every conscious gesture, from every choice made with love, from every soul that has chosen to remain awake. This is the true revolution, silent, inner, invincible. Until the end of 2025, the planet will experience such intense energy waves that nothing will remain the same. But those who are aligned with their hearts will feel peace even amidst the storm. Because the new world is not a place, it is a state of being, and it has already begun to be born within you. When all is calmed, when the dust of the old world settles, humanity will realize that nothing was in vain. Every pain, every loss, every silence had a purpose. It was a call to return to the light. This return is not to a distant place but to within ourselves, the point from which we should never have strayed. Forgetfulness was only a temporary veil, and now it begins to tear. The light that has always been present will shine again in every awakened heart, and the earth will once again become what it has always been in essence, a sanctuary of love, healing, and consciousness. The return to the light is the great closing of the cycle. There are no winners or losers, only learners who have finally understood. What was once war now becomes forgiveness. What was fear transforms into wisdom. And humanity, tired of searching outside, begins to find within. At that point, you will understand that heaven and hell were never places, but vibrational states created by each choice. Salvation does not come from outside. It springs from the instant you decide to live in truth. And that instant is happening now before your eyes, within your heart. This return will also bring a new kind of love. Not romantic, conditional, possessive love, but universal love, the kind that sees divinity in everything and everyone. A love that expects nothing, but transforms everything. It will manifest in relationships, in communities, in the children who will be born with a different sparkle in their eyes. They will be bearers of the new era, ancient souls returning to help rebuild the planet. And we will be the guardians of this transition, those who crossed the night and arrived at dawn. The simple fact of being here now is proof that your soul was chosen to witness and anchor this rebirth. Returning to the light doesn't mean the absence of challenges, but the presence of awareness. The difference is that now you will know who you are, and nothing can take you away from that center. Life will go on, waves will come, but the sea within you will remain calm. That is true enlightenment, not escaping reality, but living in it, with an awakened heart. And when you begin to see with the eyes of the soul, you will realize that the world was never dark. It was just waiting for you to ignite your own light. It is this individual brilliance that, added to that of others, will form the sun of the new era. And if you've made it this far, know that none of this was by chance. Your soul guided you to these words because they are a reminder. Planetary check-in is not a threat, it's a call to awakening. The light isn't coming, it's already here, inside you. All that remains is to allow it to shine, and if this message touched something within your heart, let that feeling manifest. Breathe, smile, and look at the sky. It's changing with you too. And to seal this connection, write the word in the comments. Souls. I want to see how many awakened hearts have walked with me to the end of this journey. And if you felt that vibration, subscribe to the channel, because the new time has already begun, and it begins within us.